Now, in the wake of President Akufo-Addo's statement about the operations of the Wagner Group in Burkina Faso, the country's Foreign Affairs Ministry has reviewed. It has summoned the Ghanaian ambassador for explanations after the president's allegation that the country had hired a Russian mercenary group, Wagner. Before we get into that, here is what President Akufo-Addo said when he was speaking at a bilateral meeting with the U.S. Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday as part of the 2022 U.S. and Africa Leaders Summit.
So, Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. We'll just thank the American government for the invitation to participate in this summit. I think it's a summit that's been long overdue. I believe it's the second. The last time was, what, over 10 years ago? Yeah, perhaps we should be doing more. But it's good that it has happened. It gives us an opportunity to talk about many common threats and challenges that we have, which you've identified. And particularly for us, to be able to put into relief where we are. Yesterday, I was part of an extremely useful meeting with the people from the Congress to come and talk about security matters. I believe that, Madam, you were there, you were part of the meeting. And its significance for us. And I think that beyond everything, that is a matter that I want to urge upon you. Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. I believe a mine in southern Burkina has been allocated to them as a form of payment for their services. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. Apart from not accepting the idea of great powers once again making Africa their theater of operation, we have a particular position that you know about over the Ukraine war, where we have been very, very vocal and upfront about condemning the invasion of Russia by Russia. And therefore, then now to have this group at our borders is a matter of some considerable disquiet and concern for us. We really like to have a privileged opportunity to talk about its implications and what we believe ought to be the case. This is what took place with the discussion in the Congress yesterday, which I found very fruitful. And I would like that the themes of that discussion should be the themes that we should continue to address. To what extent we can have you as a partner in confronting these threats.
Well, my colleague Blessed Sogan of our international desk joins me live now with details of the Reuters report on the summoning of our ambassador to Burkina Faso. Blessed, what has Burkina Faso said so far?
So we understand that there's a statement by the government there. The foreign ministry, as we understand, of Burkina Faso says it is, quote, expressing disapproval about the statement made by the Ghanaian president. You know that our president had indicated that they were engaging the Wagner group. They continue to indicate that, quote, Ghana could have undertaken some sort of exchange with the Burkinabe authorities on the proper security issues in order to have, quote, the right information. So the Burkinabe government appears to be unhappy with the statement by the president.
Now, has Burkina Faso confirmed the allegations that our president made?
Well, there's no clear confirmation now, except to say that from some of the reports that we've been chancing on online, there are indications that the Burkinabe authority is clear on the fact that they have not engaged the Wagner group. For instance, the spokesperson of the foreign ministry is indicating that in any case, they have not called on the group to come into their country, but they are tight-lipped on whether or not there's an official engagement between both countries for the mercenary group to be operating in the mines near Ghana's northern border.
What do we know about the calling of our ambassador to Burkina Faso?
Well, so there are two separate diplomatic engagements happening. First, the Burkinabe authorities are recalling their ambassador to Ghana. They explain that it's part of the consultation process to inform the way forward. Beyond that as well, our ambassador in Burkina Faso has been summoned. It's part of the usual diplomatic processes just to try and understand what it is that the statement our president made, and so we can, of course, bring some clarity to what's happening. We're not privy to the engagement that has taken place and what the Ghanaian position officially has been communicated to the Burkinabe authorities. So we're still awaiting the outcome of that engagement, and we'll keep our viewers updated on that. But we need to state that clearly the Burkinabe authorities are not happy that we're making this statement, clearly to state that their government is sponsoring or dealing with the mercenary group and also paying them subsequently with a mine as a compensation closer to the northern borders of Ghana.
This Wagner group itself, have we had them respond to what's happening?
No clear indication for now. Well, even the operation of the group itself cannot be officially linked to Russia, except to say that there's some sort of indications that most of the operatives within the mercenary group come from the eastern side. So that's where many experts believe, well, if you talk about the Wagner, largely most of them are operating from their base or headquarters in Russia. Beyond that, there's no clear indication of a direct involvement of the group's activity in Burkina Faso, except to say that some of their leading figures have been making comments indicating that what's happening now is part of a grand agenda by the West, i.e. the US and its allies, to try and fester a certain perception that Russia is to blame for the kind of terrorism and military insurgency that we're seeing, especially in the Sahel and the coastal states as it's moving towards.
Grateful. Blessed Soga is a member of our international desk. Now, Elias Otanko is joining us as Northeast regional correspondent, and he joins us on phone with some information about the Ghana-Burkina Faso situation. Now, Elias, what do we know so far about the situation?
Causing any serious development among the forces that have been deployed to protect the borders and stop the spread of the jihadis who are coming closer to our borders. I have been in touch with some of the commanders leading the Operation Conquer Fist and the Calm Life operation that is currently at the borders, and they have confirmed that indeed this particular statement and row between Ghana and Burkina Faso has come to their attention. They are still doing their work. They have been asked to protect the borders. It is not really affecting their work. They continue to share intelligence with their colleagues in Burkina Faso, and they are hoping that the politicians, as they call them, will come together quickly to resolve this issue so it could not escalate.
Grateful to you for that information. Now, the minorities in Parliament say National Security Minister Albert Kandapa must immediately take steps to douse tensions between Ghana and its neighbor, Burkina Faso. President Akufo-Addo told U.S. Secretary of State that Burkina Faso are using Russian mercenaries. This development has led to the recall of the Burkina ambassador to Ghana, with our envoy in Burkina Faso also being summoned. Ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee, James Agalga, says if the situation is not resolved immediately, a diplomatic row will ensue between the two neighbors.
I would like to remark that some disturbing phenomenon which has happened in the past few days tends to place the entire Accra initiative on a slippery slope. Mr. Speaker, it has to do with the recall of the Burkina Faso ambassador from our country and the summons to our ambassador in Burkina Faso to appear before their foreign ministry to explain the circumstances under which our president, His Excellency, made certain remarks when he had some engagements with the Secretary of State of the United States, Antony Blinken. Mr. Speaker, the statements that are supposed to have made and are on video, which has gone viral, may amount to or create some diplomatic row between Ghana and Burkina Faso. The Minister for National Security is here. I know he is very good, he's adept when it comes to navigating around such difficult issues. So in order that the Accra initiative, which is a very laudable concept or initiative, does not collapse, I would entreat the minister to deploy his skills, reach out to his counterpart in Burkina Faso so that they resolve those issues amicably, so that Ghana can continue to be safe.